So we're going to start with a squat. The squat is an excellent exercise for general all-over conditioning. A lot of people think it's just for the legs, and certainly it does focus on the quadriceps, the glutes and the hamstrings. But the squat is a good overall conditioning exercise that should never ever be left out of anybody's program. It's a pretty simple exercise to do too, although a lot of people seem to get stuck with it, especially if they start to lead the exercise to the knees. So I'm going to guide you through the correct way of doing it, so that as you're watching this at home, you're going to have no problems. Okay, to begin, it's very, very simple. We start with the feet around about hip width apart, toes facing either forward or just ever so slightly out. From this position, make sure that you're in an upright posture, shoulder blades pulled back, and these muscles in here engaged slightly. So what I mean by engaged is that you're squeezing back slightly and you're pushing your chest forward. From here, we're going to make sure that you unlock first at the hips by pushing the bum backward as opposed to bending at the knees. So you can just show me a bending at the knee version first. Okay, a lot of people tend to squat like this, which sends the knees forward and creates all kinds of stresses in the knees, and they find they get stuck. You might be one of those people. So don't worry, because it's very, very simple to fix. What I'm going to ask Dina to do now is simply push her bum backward as if she was reaching back to touch her bum into an imaginary chair behind her. So sit right back and back up again. As she stands up, she squeezes the bottom, drives forward, so she ends up in what I call a banana back position. Okay, so the bottom is squeezed and you drive the pelvis through slightly. Okay, if you find that you need some assistance with balance, every time you sit backward, take your arms forward in front of you like so. Okay, so let's just run through the checkpoints again. Feet hip width apart, toes either facing forward or slightly flared. Begin the squat exercise with the pelvis by driving backward, whilst at the same time ensuring that you're engaged through the shoulder blades the entire time. This will keep your spine nice and upright and stop you from collapsing in on yourself as you squat. Okay, so very, very simple. We're going to look at 30 seconds of this exercise, 30 seconds rest, and then 30 seconds of the push-up. Let's have a look at the push-up. Okay, so this exercise is the push-up. The push-up's a great exercise for the pectoral area, the chest, the shoulders, the backs of the arms, the triceps, also the abdominals and the gluteals, believe it or not. It's an all-over body exercise, which is why it's included in this program. You use many, many muscles together at once, which means you burn lots of calories and you make the biggest changes to your body. Okay, pretty simple to carry out, although most people carry it out wrong. They absolutely dread the exercise because of that. So I'm going to teach you the safest way to do it and the way that's going to get you the best possible results. First off, you're going to lie flat out on the ground and put your arms into what I call the 90-90 position, like this. So we've got a 90-degree bend here and we've got a 90-degree bend here. Okay, like so. From this position, you're going to take your hand back to where your elbow is, and same on the other side, and raise your elbows up toward the ceiling. Okay, what this is for is to make sure you reduce the stress through the elbows and the shoulders, whilst at the same time maximising the stress that goes through the chest muscles. Okay, this is important because obviously you want to make sure that the exercise is doing the best possible amount of work for you as opposed to somebody else's frame. So you don't have to say, you know, it doesn't have to be 18 inches apart or 6 inches apart. It's worked out on your own shoulder width. Okay, next we're going to bend at the knees and cross the ankles over, squeezing at the bum, squeezing at the abdominals and keeping your neck in the back of your collar whilst looking down. I want you to breathe out and push up in one solid fluid movement. Okay, so breathe out, push up. Okay, keep your neck still, there we go. And lower slowly. Breathe out, push up. Squeeze hard here, that's it. And lower slowly. Okay, so as you saw, or hopefully you saw, there should have been a pretty straight line running from your knee, through your hip, into the shoulder and into the back of your neck. Now this is the ideal that we're working for, and this is the format that's going to get you the best possible quality of exercise. Don't worry if you find yourself slightly weak in some of these areas and your posture changing. However, if you do find that you're starting to get a backache at all, you might want to push your bottom in the air slightly whilst you do the push-ups, like so. So leaving your bum. Okay, and keep your bum high while your chest lowers. Okay, what this does is protects your back, because what we don't want to see is an arching back as you come up. So, okay, we don't want to see this come up separately to the upper body. It's better to see the bum already.
Take me somewhere I can breathe. I've got so much to see. This is where